The Minnesota Vikings have made a significant move to strengthen their offensive line with the recent acquisition of tackle Cam Robinson, who joins the team in a trade from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The deal, reported by renowned NFL insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, sends Robinson to Minnesota in exchange for draft compensation. According to the trade details, the Vikings will receive a conditional 7th round pick in 2026, while the Jaguars will receive a 5th round pick in the same year, which could escalate to a 4th round pick depending on Robinson's playing time with the Vikings. The trade was officially announced by the Vikings on Wednesday, marking a crucial moment for the franchise. Minnesota recently suffered a major blow with the knee injury of their starting left tackle Christian Darrisaw, who has unfortunately been ruled out for the rest of the season due to the injury. This setback was a significant blow to the team, especially considering they started the season strong with an impressive 5-0 record before suffering 2 consecutive losses. In this context, the arrival of Cam Robinson has an immediate impact, filling a critical gap in protecting their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, who is now under more pressure than ever to keep the team competitive. However, it's important to note that Robinson's arrival doesn't necessarily represent a direct upgrade over Darrisaw's loss, but rather a practical solution amid a complicated situation. Finding a suitable offensive line reinforcement midseason with a limited trading window becomes increasingly challenging. Therefore, the Vikings' move should be viewed as a strategic play to ensure the team doesn't suffer greatly in its quest to stay in the hunt for the NFC North title. Robinson, a veteran with vast NFL experience, offers a reasonable option to fill the gap on the offensive line. According to Pro Football Focus, Robinson has an overall grade of 69.4, reflecting his solid performance throughout the season. However, he has allowed 4 sacks to date, a stat the Vikings will need to consider in their strategy to minimize the impact of these weaknesses on their quarterback's play. Cam Robinson, 29, was selected by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2nd round of the 2017 NFL Draft and has since been a mainstay on the team's offensive line. With a total of 91 career starts, Robinson brings considerable experience that should allow him to adapt quickly to the Viking system. It's worth noting that Robinson is currently in the final year of his contract with the Jaguars, which means his performance in Minnesota could play a crucial role in his future in the league. This trade could also be an opportunity for Robinson to prove his worth on a playoff contending team, and if successful, it could lead to a contract extension or even a new opportunity with another team after the season. As for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been hit by this departure, they had already made another major trade earlier this season, sending defensive lineman Roy Robertson Harris to the Seattle Seahawks on October 14th. Robinson's departure from Jacksonville seems to indicate that the Jaguars may be beginning to restructure their roster and shift their focus toward the 2025 season, looking for a more solid direction for the future. It's worth mentioning that Robinson did not participate in his team's loss to the Green Bay Packers last Sunday, which had already sparked speculation about his future with Jacksonville. To replace Robinson, the Jaguars have chosen to start Walker Little as their new left tackle, which could be part of a transitional process within their offensive line. This change marks a turning point in the Jaguars' roster evolution and opens the door for new dynamics on the team, which is now focused on preparing for the years ahead. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, this trade shows that the Vikings are not willing to give up on their playoff hopes. Vikings general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has shown he's willing to make strategic adjustments midseason, and Robinson's signing is a clear signal that the team is committed to improving and staying competitive in an NFC North that is becoming increasingly more challenging. This trade could provide the spark the team needs to stay in contention and potentially surprise opponents in the upcoming games. In conclusion, the trade of Cam Robinson to the Minnesota Vikings is a high-risk move, but also a crucial opportunity for the team to stabilize their offensive line and continue their battle for a playoff spot. The Vikings are counting on Robinson to adapt quickly and become an important piece of their offensive scheme. But only time will tell if this move will be the one that makes a difference in the 2025 season.